youtube.com/MayhewMayhem. That's youtube.com/MayhewMayhem.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I am your host, my name is Michael Mayhew, and I'm here with my co-hosts.
Nick from youtube.com/the and joining us is the Ivory Skin Slug Thing.
Hey everybody, it's me, Greg.
And joining us today is our new intern, Emmanuel.
Hola.
And as I said, welcome to 30 Minutes of Mayhem, the podcast your mother can be ashamed of. And tell me, Greg, why is this the podcast your mother can be ashamed of?
Where do I even start? Shit, we've talked about just about anything that could offend anybody from necrophilia to homosexuality to hardcore drug use, rape.
Hang on. So
I just asked Greg's mom out for a date and he didn't bring that up. That's
he didn't bring that up. I just want to know why he's offended by homosexuality. Are you offended by that because you may identify yourself in that and you can't handle? You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you are exactly correct. Before we get into these topics that are going to be way more effective than what Viagra is, let's take a quick commercial break. So Greg, after all these years, I hear you finally got a smartphone.
That's right, Mike. I now have the entire internet at my fingertips.
That's true. Well, it also makes it easier for you to be able to find and listen to
porn.
Well, you listen to porn? I was going to say 30 Minutes of Mayhem, but...
Porn. So much porn.
I feel like it's kind of weird that you listen to porn, are you just consuming it any way you can? I mean, are you tearing apart old VHS tapes and eating the tape itself to consume the pornography?
Maybe.
That may be true, but there's other apps, great ones like YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker.
Even dating apps that could even get you laid, like Grindr.
Huh. I guess I'll have to check that out sometime.
While you're doing that, make sure to check out 30 Minutes Mayhem on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and various other apps. This first topic, I feel like, is really more of an intervention for Nick. But maybe not. But in my mind, that's kind of why I wanted to discuss it. Because I really want to know what you guys think, and maybe Emmanuel, maybe it's different from you. I know your upbringing was a lot different from the rest of us here in America. But what is the acceptable age range for dating? By this, what I mean is, well, I feel like it's pretty obvious, but I just want to clarify just in case. Between the two partners, the distance between the two, what is the acceptable age range in your opinion?
I would say that anything below 16
is game. Anything below 16 is game. That's
the way I'm understanding it. I know you're Nick's gardener and all, and his intern, but for fuck's sake, anything below 16 is just, you're good to go. So anything above 16 is off limits.
No, that'd be off limits.
Anything above 16 is off limits. What the fuck, man?
So what if you're 42 and you're go and give me that 16 right there? Is that what you're implying? You're implying that that's okay?
You're into that old man shit. When this motherfucker watches porn, he watches some decrepit old man fucking some what's that one porn star you called Nick? You were talking about her earlier.
Oh no, I was talking about Emmanuel's cousin, better known as Little Lupe.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So he's that's what he's into.
We
some old man fucking.
We explicitly discussed we did not talk about Little Lupe.
So
whatever, he's got a famous cousin.
So you're okay with some 60-year-old dude fucking a 16-year-old chick?
Nope.
Well, then I'm not understanding what you're saying. What is your point?
If you are above if you're 18 or older, you're not allowed to do anything below that. I thought the question was, when is it appropriate to start dating?
Would you like me to lay down a premise by giving
yes.
So you have a better understanding? I know English isn't your first language.
Most certainly is not.
I think a good range is 3 years below or 3 years older is a pretty solid range. That way there's not a huge ideologic or generational gap there. There's not really a huge thing because there's always something within that gap that you both can relate to.
Okay.
Whereas someone who's getting it from someone 9 years younger than them, there's a huge generational difference there.
The oldest somebody who I'd be willing to date would probably be at most 5 years older than me. or 5 years younger than me, because I just, like what Nick said, it's relatability. Like, I feel just wouldn't have anything in common.
Well, see, okay, so here's my thing on it. You would think that, right? But
Actually, I take that back. I mean, I might have some things in common, but I wouldn't feel comfortable dating somebody younger or older than 5 years. There's just something about it. Like, I just wouldn't, especially like younger, because I mean, anything younger than that, and you're getting closer to like the age of consent. And I mean, I definitely don't want to date anybody who's like below that, because I don't want to be, because A, it's kind of creepy, and B, I don't want to end up being branded a sex offender.
And see, what I was going to say is you would think that there wouldn't be any sort of relatability there and all of that, but let's be honest, age is just a number after a certain point. I was getting at.
Well, as far as dating goes, I would say that you probably shouldn't start dating until you are 16 years of age. I mean, you can start a little bit earlier, but you just got to be like wise about it, I guess. But definitely kids shouldn't be dating adults. I don't think you're an adult until you're 18. Adults should not be dating kids. I mean, like, if you kind of get, like, if a 16-year-old dates a 14-year-old, then that goes on for a while. I can see that would be a different situation.
I mean,
that's for like age gaps. Like anything more than like 10 years is like really weird, or like it'd have to be something special.
I could see where that can ring true in that aspect, but once you get older and you have all the life experience, it's fucking different. Nick, you were saying just a few years as an age gap, because then things start to become unrelatable.
Yeah, I think 3 years in either direction.
Emmanuel said like at 18 you're an adult or whatever, so you're definitely not an adult at 18. I mean, by definition, you technically are, but you're nowhere near being an adult. Some of us sitting here right now talking to each other are not adults. I'll let you guys figure out who's not an adult. So, Nick, what I'm saying is...
I'm always like, yeah, let's just, I'm not even going to kill Spencer. It's Nick.
Well, so you're basically saying it's the developmental years that, like, that's when the age matters, and then past that point is when it matters less.
Exactly. I know people that are in their early 20s, like 20, 21, 22, 23, like in the early 20s, that are just as mature and as much of an adult as what I am at the end of my 20s. And there's like, 6, 7, 8 years between us, but they're just as mature as what I am, maybe because of what they've been through in their life or whatever. So in situations like that, I don't like age after the developmental years, as Emmanuel put it. Age after that is literally just a number. So, I mean, and it's a number and it's a personal preference. Like, I might get along with some broad that's in her fucking mid-50s, right? Over 20 years older than me. I might get along with her and be like, it's fucking cool. Do I want to be in her? No, fuck that. That's weird. Right? To me, that's my personal thing. I'm not trying to bang somebody that's just went through menopause or whatever. That's not my thing.
You don't got to worry about them kids, though.
Right. You don't have to worry about the kids. I get that point. Cream pie crazy or whatever, but it's just not my thing. And Greg said 5 on either side of his age because he feels like he can't relate. See, that's like a personal preference. So I feel like after the developmental years, it literally just becomes a number and a personal preference.
What if we go the Woody Allen route, though, and it's what the heart wants, what the heart wants?
Yeah, except Woody Allen's is a hell of a lot creepier.
The 5 years younger thing, I could see that, because for me, that would mean that, like, that would be right at 18. And I've seen a lot of 18-year-olds, and I'm just not attracted to them anymore. It's like, they're way too young. Because I remember how I was when I was... I mean, I sound like an old man, but, like, I remember how I was when I was 18 into my 20, and, like, I changed so much as a person. I don't think I'd want to be around somebody who's probably, for better or worse, someone who's going through those changes, yeah.
And some people hit that earlier. That's why I said, like, I do, being where I am now in Hawaii and being around the people that I'm around some people you would never know that they were in their early 20s because of how mature they are. Maybe it's because of shit, like I said, maybe it's because of shit they've been through or whatever, but they matured at a lot earlier age. And then I see people that are their exact same age that are just like the most gigantic pieces of fucking shit on the face of the planet because they don't understand any, like they're still stuck in that high school drama bullshit. That's how their life works. They don't understand anything about how the world works. They don't understand responsibility and shit like that. So I don't know why anyone would want to put themselves in a relationship, being older, put themselves in a relationship where, you're established with yourself and you're like, you know what I want to do? Wreck my life by dating somebody that has no concept of anything. Sex is good, but my whole fucking life's ruined. Like, no. So I think for me, like I said, after a certain point, age becomes a number and then the whole dating thing becomes a personal preference.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
So to prevent Nick from saying anything about his non-dating situations but sex-related and an age gap, to prevent that from going on, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break before we get into this next topic. Hello, I see we have some new faces in the group today. It's always nice to see new people in the group, and I want you to know you're making the correct decision, because admitting this is the first step of recovery. Since we have so many new people, I'd like to go ahead and go around the room and introduce yourselves.
My name is Emmanuel, and I've been struggling with it for years, but I think I'm ready to fight my addiction to heroin.
Boring.
Well, everyone normally gets their opportunity to speak, but is that Nick? You seem really eager. You want to tell us why you're here?
I have a pretty hardcore addiction. Shit you never even heard of, man. I'm addicted to buying merch from MayhewMayhem.spreadshirt.com. I waste all my money buying that shit.
All right. Anyone else want to share?
Hi, my name is Greg, and I'm addicted to interracial gangbang porn.
For the second topic, it's going to be one question, and it's going to replace one aspect of the question, and you're going to be answering it the same. Everyone's going to answer. It's a yes or no question, and you have to give why you're saying yes or no. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about the show itself. Right, the concept of it when we first started going all the way back and then all the way up to the point to where we are now. The idea behind it was, for the conversations that we have on Everything's So Random on here, is that these are the conversations that if you were sitting around having a beer with your friends, maybe sitting at a fire or whatever, when you have those conversations with your friends, they're the most random ass conversations. You get like really dirty stuff, and then you get really intellectual for some fucking reason on really serious topics. It's like the whole concept of the show. So I really wanted to hit on that because I feel like it's been a little while since we've just directly pushed at something like that. So I thought this topic here is something that would perfectly come up in that situation. And the question is, would you have sex with? And I have 5 people to put at the end of that question. So each time it will be, will you have sex with blank? And I'm going to fill in the blank. Okay?
Alright.
When I fill in the blank, you're going to answer the question and you're going to tell me why. I'm also going to answer the question and I'll also tell you guys why. So the very first one is, would you have sex with a porn star?
Yes.
Which one and why? Well, you don't need to answer why, Greg. But actually, with all these, it's not even fair. Greg's going to be like, yes, 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 and yes. My reasoning on why is because I'm trying to cash in this V card. But anyway, no, for real. Who and why?
Who and why? God, that's a...
Any and because I want to cash in my V card. We've already covered this.
Man, that's a tough one. I think if I had to pick, I would probably go with Japanese porn star Hitomi Tanaka. I mean, she is fucking hot, and she has huge tits too. So I mean, that in and of itself is like a double whammy for me. So I mean, that's who I would pick.
And Greg finally gets to see what's below all that pixelation.
I have no idea who he's talking about. Somebody else
Google
take
her real quick. She's not bad at all.
So somebody else take it.
If they were done, then yes.
So you're saying
like
they weren't currently active?
yeah, like veteran, like or whatever. Yeah,
You mean
they're
like
they're
Sasha
done.
Grey?
You know what? I've never seen a Sasha Grey porn video.
Really?
No lie,
Wow.
no lie.
I
Never.
think
Wow.
I think
The
she's
way I've seen you
tremendously
play League of
overrated.
Legends, I'm quite sure that you've seen a lot of her work and emulate it in the video game.
Funny thing about it is that I liked her voice acting in Saints Row, and then I found out like what she did before. It was this really
Hilarious.
weird. Like I should have heard about her sooner, but I just didn't know what the fuck she was doing or anything. And somebody told me that
Hilarious.
she was a porn star, and I didn't believe them. I guess her, because she's done, right? She's retired from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like taken more like traditional acting roles in recent years.
Oh, let's use the word acting very loosely.
Yeah, I was going to say acting with quotation marks.
I like the idea that there's 2 jokes inside of Nick's 1 joke. So you're saying yes, but they would have to be retired. Not somebody that's currently active.
Yeah, because I don't know if I could
'Cause
handle that because I'm not a very jealous person, but like when your girlfriend's literally being fucked by somebody else, even though it's a job, it's just kind of like weird. Like
So-
that'd be really weird if it was still going on. If it was back then, like I wouldn't really care.
Or is it just the fact that you're hoping that she did some Kegel exercises because you know if she was getting her shit pushed in by the dicks that you see on porn, you know you wouldn't be able to do anything for her?
You know what? Let's throw that reason in too, because
She's tighten those muscles up down there. She could crush whatever you put in there.
Nick, what do you think?
I'm going to say that if I was single, then yes, definitely yes. And I don't even know if she's still alive. I'm pretty sure she's dead in a trash can somewhere, but probably Lexi Bell.
She's probably dead in the trash can somewhere,
Yeah.
OD'd or something, yeah. So you say yes. Everyone said yes. And see, I'm kind of stuck, right? To where I'm like, not really.
I don't blame you there. That's still kind of weird.
It's just like when I watch porn and I see the shit that they do, I'm like, I'm not the type of person where I think that's reality. I understand that that's not reality. Trust me, I've paid attention to myself having sex. It's a shame, right? So, and it's fucking disgusting. I understand that that's not reality, okay? Yeah, I know it's been over 3 years and my memories are fading of it, but I do remember how disgusting it is to view yourself. If you've ever been going at it really good, Greg, just think about jerking off so that you can have an idea of what I'm talking about, right? So you're jerking your shit, right? You're just beating it. Going to fucking town. You're having a good old time. Got your lube perfect, everything. You accidentally got a little bit of the heating lube in there, so it's a little warm, but you're like, you know what? I'm just going to power through it. And then you just happen to look over and you catch yourself in the mirror. And you're sitting there, and because it's so fucking hot in your room, you got your fucking shirt off and you got your pants off, so you're literally just butt-ass naked. And you can see the sweat just rolling down into like your chest hair, and you're like, God, I'm such a fucking disgusting piece of shit. And then for the rest of you, just imagine you pumping whoever. Nick, you're fucking small, so it doesn't really work for you in this aspect, but you're pumping whoever you're pumping, right? And you look over and you catch yourself in the mirror. You ever done that? If you've never done that, I wouldn't recommend doing it. Nick, I know you're
I stare in the mirror while I
yeah.
do it. I look directly in the mirror, and I'm like, this is why I'm about to burst because of me.
Yeah.
Right. So
He's look in the eye of the tiger.
Nick actually has to not look in the mirror so that he can last longer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
If I saw
look
my
at-
face, I would instantly just be like, oh, and I'm soft now.
Yeah, if I look in the mirror, I'm gonna last longer. So, but anyway, my whole point is, I know how gross it is in that situation, right? And I understand that's reality versus what I see in the porn. Just the shit that they fucking do. I cannot follow up that act. I'm not gonna be a headliner in that type of situation. Not just because my dick is awfully small, but because who the fuck wants to do that? Not just that. I've talked about this many times before. I don't even want to date a girl that's naked on the internet, even if it's like a single fucking picture, right? That bothers me, right? Because we've talked about this just an episode or two ago. Especially if it's a porn star, right? You're dating a porn star. You're dating a fucking Christy Mack or like a Holly Michaels or whatever, which are my two favorite. Holly Michaels actually returned to porn. Christy Mack's still retired. But anyway, so if you're dating one of them and you're out with your friend, and so let's just say me, I'm dating him. I know that if we come by and see Greg, I guarantee that he's gonna be looking at her and be like, I remember all the times that I jerked off to her,
Oh,
and
God.
and he's gonna be thinking about that shit. I'm gonna see Nick. He's gonna be doing the same thing. He's like, God damn it, I know what
That's why I do not wear my Sailor Moon shirt around Greg, because that's the only thought that's on his mind. God, I jerked off to that so much.
All right, so I'm hanging out with you guys. We're hanging out, and I'm dating Christy Mack. I'm there. I understand that you guys know her shit looks like a person with Parkinson's first day at Arby's. I understand that you guys know that it looks like that.
I got
Right.
one. Check this one out. It looks like a 1982 septuple wing plane. You know, back when they were trying to like figure out how planes worked.
I understand that you guys know that shit, and that's fucking wrong. For me, in my mind, my personal preference, I don't want you to know what my significant other looks like naked or in the bed or how she fucks or sucks dick or whatever the fuck. I don't want you guys to know that. That's my personal preference. So if I, as far as like fucking a porn star, like I know all that shit, or dating a porn star or whatever, I don't really feel like I could fuck them. Now, would I let one of them give me a blowjob or hand job? Yep, down with that. I don't know how any of that makes any sense, and there's no way for me to justify that. Well,
I don't
hang on,
personally
not that-
agree with it, but I mean, I definitely get where you're coming from.
I have various ranges of how I'm okay with torturing my dick, right? So if I see a female that's like like not, but I'm like, you know what, she's all right. I would let her give me a hand job, but there's no way I would let her suck my dick or that I would fuck her. And I might see a girl the next step up to where I'm like, yeah, I'd let her give me a hand job or fucking suck my dick, but there's no way I'm fucking her. And
So like they have what you're saying is like women have different levels. So you're like, whoa, man, like you're not missionary position worthy. You're a hand job at best and nothing else.
You do not have access to this area.
Yeah.
Please turn back.
pretty
Very
much.
Restricted level of intimacy I'm willing to give you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go to just like sex and like butt stuff is combined with that. And then like my highest level of what like females is I would let her sneeze shit on my face. So
whoa.
If there's very few that exist in that manner, right? So but that's like my highest level. So that's kind of how like I view things. So like with porn stars, they're at the lower level of stuff. Maybe possibly sex, but probably not. Let's go on to the next one because this is not rapid fire at all, but we got some more to cover here. Would you have sex with Casey Anthony?
No.
What? No.
Okay, Greg, why would you not have sex with Casey Anthony?
Because A, she's not attractive, and B, she's a complete psycho bitch.
All right, Emmanuel.
If we were back in Mexico, we would have dragged her through the streets. Also, she's not that attractive anyway. She has no redeeming qualities.
Okay, Nick.
Yes, I would go at it vigorously just for the fact that I wouldn't have to worry about taking care of a kid afterwards.
I see.
And did anyone ever see her Ohio State shirt picture? I mean, come on.
My answer to the question is every female that I've been with turns out to be crazy. I don't know if they're crazy beforehand and I'm just a fucking retard, or if I turn them crazy.
Maybe a little bit of both.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, right, Greg? And like Nick said, you could cream pie that shit fucking crazy, and you wouldn't have to worry about it because she's got a plan C, if you get what I'm saying. There's birth control, there's a plan B pill, and then there's a kill your kid and bury them in the woods and then get away with it.
Casey Anthony, plan C, it works.
Nick, I can understand 100% why you would say yes, because you guys got a lot in common. You just don't do it to your own kids. So, like, you already know all the techniques, and you guys could be like the Bonnie and Clyde of kid killing. And the difference being that she wouldn't need to clear her browser history because you already know how to do all the shit, and you guys could be the perfect couple. So, would you ever have sex with Rosie O'Donnell?
No, oh fuck no. You couldn't even pay me enough money to oh god, no. I just no. I don't even want to think of that. No. I'm done. I'm just gonna plug my ears for the rest of this when you ask the other two if they would or not, because I can't. No, I'm done. I'm cashing out. Sorry.
Next one. Would you ever have sex with Caitlyn Jenner?
No.
Why?
The main reason why I would not have sex with Caitlyn Jenner is because A, not attractive, B, has a dick still, and I mean I'm still saying she's a she, because I mean she's transgender, so I mean, you know, she's still a she, but I'm not into that. C, because she's a total fucking attention whore, like everybody in that goddamn family is.
I would say actually yes, so I can just cross that whole having sex with a transgender off the bucket list.
My answer is no, because she's not even remotely attractive.
Yeah.
Not to steal off Greg, but yeah, 1, I don't find attractive at all. 2, kind of hypocrite. 3, stole the Women of the Year award from
just prove
women.
that men are so awesome that they can be Woman of the Year.
I don't like Bruce Jenner. I don't fucking like Caitlyn Jenner. Like, and then on top of that, just the whole family. Like, you put your dick in any part of that family, you are cursed for life.
Yeah.
See, this is Emmanuel's notion. He liked black Michael Jackson, but white Michael Jackson? No, thank you.
Well, I mean, to be fair, after he became white, Michael Jackson's music kind of declined in like quality.
Last one. You have to be super specific if you say yes with this. Would you have sex with one of the other host's mother? Or Greg, you can choose your own if you want.
I'd go with the mom.
No, obviously, I'm saying one of the other hosts' mother.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying. I would go with one of the other hosts' mothers.
That's what I'm saying. One of the other hosts' mother. Yes or no?
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
who?
And him.
If yes, who? Not saying one of the other hosts, comma, their mother. I was saying, Greg, that you don't have to pick somebody else's. If you want to pick your own, that's fine. Whatever. I'm not going to judge you. It's just any of the hosts' mother. Who and why?
Okay, so are we done? So can I say Emmanuel?
Don't blame you at all.
You into the Spanish women?
Yep.
That's okay. Manuel's mom, and because you like Spanish women. Okay, cool. So,
I'm
Nick?
sorry I'm so lame, Mike. I mean, it's not like, I gave a good answer with the Rosie O'Donnell one. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, they're not all winners.
This motherfucker's back here
His
living in
vocal cords.
past glory. He's like, I'm sorry, I gave such a great answer before, and I didn't have a good one this time. So, fuck you. What did you have before? And I'm like, I've been killing it the whole fucking time, the best that I can. You're gonna try to throw that shit. This motherfucker.
Yeah,
All right, Nick.
literal motherfucker.
All right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say your mom, Mike, just for
Okay.
the fact that she'd probably get me entirely trashed to the point which I wouldn't remember much, and I think I could live with myself afterwards. Because I was just gonna say no to the whole thing, but then I was just like, you know what? No, get me shit faced, and then I'll live with it.
Yeah, Manuel.
I'm gonna have to go with Nick's mom, I guess.
Is
She's
she
an enigma. I've seen her so rarely. Very mysterious. I think that could make for some kinky sex. So I'm gonna bang Nick's mom.
I'm gonna say no.
Oh, that was an option.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
no was an option the whole time. I just chose not to go that route because it's less entertaining to just say no.
I'm gonna say no because Nick's mom's too old for me. Emmanuel's mom I've never seen. I respect Greg's mother, so although it would be nice to be able to hold that over top of Greg's head because I know that Nick wouldn't give a shit. So there's nothing to hold that over top of.
I couldn't bring myself to do that just because I like Greg's dad so much.
Yeah, I respect Greg's parents. I mean,
They tolerate us.
if
That's
they,
all we have to say.
Yeah, pretty much. If they got a divorce, Greg, you let me know. Your mother's a handsome woman, so.
I might take your dad out for dinner. Just
I
saying.
might. Oh fuck.
Oh my God, Nick.
Let's go to a commercial.
I feel like I'm dying.
You don't sound well, buddy. You should go see a doctor.
But I have no insurance, so no one will take me.
If only there was a group of people who loved hearing your voice and would do anything to support you.
But Mike, what about our listeners?
They probably wouldn't do it for him, Greg. But if I say it's for me... So if you would be so kind to donate to help our sick Mexican friend out...
To help cure his festering anal fistula.
Yes, his bleeding asshole. Help us. Help him.
By donating to 30 Minutes of Mayhem via PayPal using 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com.
Muchas gracias, Obama.
I've talked about many times before on the show about my dick. Some people are sick of hearing about it. Well, you know what? I'm sick of having it and living with it. I have this mirror, a body mirror in my bathroom. It's on the back of the door, and the only way to get in and out of the shower requires you to be directly across from this mirror. So I see it every day, and if you think you're sick of hearing about it, try living with it. That's what I gotta say about that. The fact that I haven't had it inverted or just fucking killed myself yet is just amazing. It is. I mean, to be completely serious. If you personally know anyone that I've performed coitus with, and you want them to come on and tell you that I'm telling the truth, or to maybe refute you if they want to be a lying bitch or whatever the fuck. If you know them personally, send episode 76 to them, or send this episode to them. They're more than invited to come on and testify. And that does it for another episode of 30 Minutes Mayhem. I have been your host. My name is Michael Mayhew, and I've been here with my co-hosts,
Nick
and Greg.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for joining us for this episode. Don't forget to check us out on Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, all those places. Donate to us on PayPal, and that does it for this episode. I really hope you have enjoyed it, and later, fellas.